Zhang Eiling's Jasmine Pieces tells you, if a woman has no intention, she should never tease a man. Somerset Maugham said in The Moon and Sixpence, consideration and sympathy are originally charming skills, but they are often abused by those who know that they have this talent. As soon as they see something unfortunate happening to their friends, they will pounce on them greedily and use all their abilities, which is just scary. There must be a boundary when communicating between people. Even if you are enthusiastic at first, you don't know what it will be like when it flows to the other person. The same is true between opposite sexes, and if the care and consideration between opposite sexes exceeds a certain limit, the other party will inevitably have another layer of thoughts. Only in this way can you explain all your enthusiasm and relieve yourself. However, if they find out that they are just wishful thinking, they will be angry at their own selfishness, and even transfer this anger to the person who is good to them. Zhang Eiling's novel Jasmine Pieces tells such a story. Nie Chuanqing, a young man in his 20s, was very unhappy. He received no sympathy from his father and stepmother at home, and had no friends at school. No one likes to associate with him, except Yan Danzhu. However, in the end, the girl's enthusiasm was rewarded with a beating and kicking from him, and she was finally abandoned in the mountains at night. Because Danzhu's enthusiasm ignited his hope, but in the end he found that he was like a clown. He couldn't bear such humiliation, so he vented his anger on this girl. People who cannot feel love are dry themselves, asserting to Nie Chuanqing's father. His son looks not human, not ghost. His stepmother even said that the child ate a lot, but was still a piece of flesh and bones all day long, looking listless, as if he had been abused. In Nie Chuanqing's view, he grew up being abused. His mother died young, and it is said that her mother did not love his father at that time, and she was forced to marry. Therefore, it is understandable that the father does not love the son she left behind. In addition, the stepmother often spoke ill of his own mother, which made the father dislike his son even more. In his impression, his father beat and scolded him all the time, and all he said was that he was worthless and an embarrassment to the Nie family. In his opinion, he is a puppet being manipulated on strings, without a soul, and his limbs are being pulled. He lives a life without hope and purpose. Nie Chuanqing was like a rat crossing the street when he appeared at home. He shrank and saw his father and stepmother beating and scolding him. In school, he also lived with his head down, gloomy and taciturn, with poor grades. Naturally, he didn't have many friends. People who cannot feel love are desolate in their hearts. Just like Nie Chuanqing, any sound or change will frighten him at one moment and make him numb at the other. His hopeless attitude towards life is deeply revealed in the article. Through a passage from the maid Liu Ma, you don't even feel the hot sun on your body? The older you get, the more confused you are. You don't even know whether it's hot or cold. I don't know. Why don't you sit over there quickly? This is a look that shows no pity for oneself. Just like Liu Ma said, she doesn't even know whether it's hot or cold. His heart is obsessed with his own tragedy, so everything he sees has the same color. And no matter how everything changes around him, it has no meaning to him. When a person no longer cherishes himself, he also cuts off his connection with the world. In this way, no matter how enthusiastic the world is, it has nothing to do with him. Of course, Nie Chuanqing also wanted to have his own life and autonomy, but he implicitly pinned this hope on his father's death. In this way, the Nie family would be his. When he thought this way, he couldn't help but sign the check. When he frantically wrote his name, he felt a kind of nihilistic satisfaction. He thought that the home was finally in his hands. It was at that time that his father slapped him hard in the face, so hard, with a hint of fear that he was even going to be deafened by the slap. If you have no intention, don't tease me. Although Nie Chuanqing is young, he is not lovable. No one wants to make friends with him, except for one girl. Her name is Yan Danzhu, who is the teacher's child. Yan Danzhu is a girl who is both beautiful and has excellent academic performance. When she is ranked as the school beauty, she is also the best. She has countless friends, and boys are pursuing her one after another. Nie Chuanqing really couldn't figure out why such a bright girl insisted on pestering him. Yan Danzhu always took the initiative to greet him, find something to talk to when he had nothing to say, and encouraged him to make more friends and study hard. No wonder Nie Chuanqing misunderstood him. Yan Danzhu treated him differently from others. She would tell him about her emotional confusion, and after their school dance, she would offer to let Nie Chuanqing accompany her home. She had to walk on a mountainous road, and it was in the middle of the night. In fact, Yan Danzhu did this partly out of a woman's vanity. Many boys like her and please her, but Nie Chuanqing is always very cold to her. If this boy also falls under her pomegranate skirt, then her heart will be greatly satisfied. Yan Danzhu's feelings for Nie Chuanqing are not love, and she is willing to share her emotional confusion with him, because she does not regard him as a man at all, but as a female friend. Moreover, Nie Chuanqing had no friends, so she didn't have to worry about him spreading this kind of thing. However, what she didn't know was that Nie Chuanqing hated her very much because he knew that his mother once loved Yan Danzhu's father. If her mother had been with the man she loved, he would have been Yan Danzhu. Now, this woman takes her place. Over the years, he had watched her and Zhou Duo's boys with a cold eye, feeling distant. He felt that she was not worthy of being a child of the Yan family and that she was too frivolous. However, if she loves herself and has a soft spot for herself, then that's a different matter. On the mountain in the dark night, Nie Chuanqing expressed his feelings, but found to his shame that he was just wishful thinking. So, he beat the girl angrily and even wanted her to disappear from the world. However, in the end, he still couldn't get relief because the girl was just injured, and she still had to wander around in his world. No matter how harmless a man seems, he still has the normal feelings and desires of a man, but women often ignore this. Women like the feeling of being pursued by men, sometimes not because of how much they love the man, but because they just want to satisfy their own hearts. The stimulation brought by this feeling is pleasant, but this practice is extremely dangerous, because you are forcing men to recognize all the bad things about themselves. Just like Nie Chuanqing's anger in the article. You are sure that I am a bad person. In the middle of the night, alone and I are on the mountain. If there is another person, you are not so relieved. You are sure that I will not kiss you, hate you, or kill you, right? No. Yan Danzhu's trust in him has become humiliating in his eyes. He feels like a clown parading in the street. Everyone else is laughing, but no one can see the sad expression behind the clown's mask. Love is a delicate feeling that goes straight into the heart. This kind of emotion is enough to awaken a person's desire for all the good things. And it is also enough to extinguish a person's courage to look directly at the world. Don't flirt with someone you don't love at will, because the consequences may not be something you can bear. In the world of love, there is no final winner, but there is often an ending that breaks the hearts of two people. Zhang Eiling's writing style is delicate and touching, and you will find some kind of resonance in her words. It feels like words have entered your inner world and helped you find those vague emotions. It's enough to make you suddenly realize. Jasmine Pieces is included in Zhang Eiling's novel collection Love in a Fallen City. Encountering a good book is like meeting someone you know once in life. There is a vast world in the text, and there are human feelings that you have not yet understood. These are all condensed life, including you and me.